Canada's centennial year is drawing to its close. It was a year of celebration and festivities marking Canada's first 100 years of progress, and a year we will long remember. The centennial year slips away, the season of Christmas is upon us. For almost 2,000 years, the Christian world has honored Christmas as the greatest occasion of any year. None can deny that the event it commemorates has influenced the course of humanity more than any other in the long history of mankind. No words of men can improve on the message voiced by the heavenly choirs when they heralded the birth of the Prince of Peace on the world's first Christmas Eve. They sang, "Peace on earth, goodwill towards men." Their song has echoed and re-echoed in the hearts of men throughout the world ever since. In each successive generation, there have been those who have hoped and resolved and aspired and prayed for the fulfillment of that ancient message. But mankind has failed to accomplish its fulfillment. It has not been because the goal was unattainable, but because too many have persistently refused to recognize that peace on earth and goodwill among men are bound up inseparably with an unfeigned allegiance to the Prince of Peace, who was born into this world as the babe of Bethlehem. Today there rests upon mankind a new and added responsibility to recognize this inescapable fact. The past year has shown that Canadians, through personal involvement, made Canada's centennial celebration an outstanding success. As we celebrate this Christmas with all the joy and wholesome happiness we can command, we should not forget we will live our tomorrows and celebrate our future Christmases in a world that will be what we ourselves make it. May we therefore at this season of fellowship and goodwill join our hands in unity of heart and purpose, that by God's grace our combined strength henceforth may be exerted and expended for the good and welfare of each and every one. As once again we commemorate the birth of Christ, let us individually and as a people dedicate anew our lives and our allegiance to Him, that through us, in the days to come, His will may be done on earth as it is in heaven, until the promise of peace on earth is at last fulfilled. With these thoughts in mind, personally and on behalf of all my colleagues who serve you in the government of this province, sincere best wishes for a joyful and blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. Another year is before us, the first new year of Canada's second century of nationhood. My colleagues in the government join with me in extending warm and sincere New Year's greetings to all Albertans, and in expressing the hope that 1968 holds in store for you health, happiness, and much satisfaction. We hope that you can look back on Canada's centennial year with fond recollections. In the year ahead, I sincerely hope that each and every one will become personally involved in the constructive areas of our society, for in this way we will develop the free and independent life so much to be desired. Alberta experienced a generally buoyant year during 1967. On the farm front, grain yields were average, down somewhat from the record crop of 1966, but increases in livestock, poultry, and dairy product marketings assured a welcome increase in the 1967 farm cash income. The outlook for 1968 in the marketing of grain holds some uncertainty due to stiffer competition for world markets and in negotiations as to price. The development of oil and gas resources during the past year saw production value increases amounting to 10%. In the year ahead, there may be substantial adjustments in the world oil flow patterns as a result of the Middle East crisis. These adjustments will, in the long run, benefit Alberta's economy. Manufacturing and retail trade recorded moderate increases during 1967. There was a slight rise in employment, while labor income advanced 10%. The construction industry was very active, with the value of building permits 20% higher than during 1966. In 1968, Canada will be confronted with greater competition for world markets, and the strength of our national position is being depleted by the rapid price increases as compared with other countries. This situation requires serious attention, not only by governments, but by all sections of our society. It is vitally important that realistic steps be taken to avert the developing national financial crisis, which cannot be averted merely by further increasing taxation, which will lead to further price increases for goods and services. Far greater emphasis must be placed on increased productivity, with comparable restraint on both public and private expenditures beyond what our prevailing productive capacity has the ability to sustain. I would assure the citizens of Alberta that this is the course your provincial government is determined to pursue. This course, combined with constant efforts to encourage the maximum development of our total human and physical resources, will ensure continued social and economic progress. Through positive and principled leaderships at all levels of government, we can move forward into the first new year of Canada's second century in the firm belief that it will be a century of new dynamic achievement. Again, my sincere best wishes for 1968.
As the rich experience of Centennial Year comes to a close, I take the opportunity of extending to all the friends in Alberta and beyond the very richest of the season's greetings. I'm thinking of the people not only in our cities, but the people in the towns and the villages, those who are on farms and ranches, and some who are in the far north, some who must travel and maintain the services through the holiday season, and those who are confined to sick beds or restrained in any way. I hope for all there will be something of special joy. This is a time for good cheer. And it's a time, of course, when families will be together, and they should be together. We'll hope that their appetites are good and that there will be fun. And while it's a time for good cheer, it's also a time for some serious thinking. And I hope that Albertans will not forget their good fortune, the fact that they are so well favored by nature. And such good fortune imposes responsibilities. It's up to us to see that the good gifts of nature are maintained with the very best of care. And while we're thinking of our own people, thinking of our own province, we must also be thinking of the other parts of the nation and beyond. Our hopes will turn to Canadian problems. We do hope that Canada will emerge in the new year with a new sense of unity, understanding, and that goodwill and peace will prevail throughout the entire world. One year ago, we said there was something special about the new year because it was bringing us to our centennial birthday. Now we can say that there's something special about the forthcoming new year. It brings us to the end of our birthday and brings us a little farther along in Canada's second century. And I'm quite sure that the challenges of the second century will be scarcely less than those which faced us in the first. It's to be hoped that Canadians will do all in their power to foster understanding at home and abroad. They're in a position to do much. And so my wish is that Canadians in 1968 will enjoy good health, understanding, goodwill, and that their contribution will be felt far beyond their own nation.